ApnaJ here, and today we have a new episode in the Art of Davi YouTube channel. And today we'll do a quick video to kind of start off the day. I actually am doing this kind of because I'm guilty of being late with my last video. I did have an issue with re-rendering essentially the video because the audio was off somehow. Like I had to edit one of the settings in the post-processing of the audio because there was way too much crackling in the audio file. So if you're into audio editing, you know what I mean. There's oftentimes I used the declicker too much, so I had to remove it and re-render the whole thing. But yeah, I do want to do more of these art hangout videos where I just hang out, because it's a way for me to be consistent, and also it keeps me active and in the game. Because if I drop down and if I waste time trying to find the perfect idea for a video, nothing is going to happen, or something will happen in like a few months down. So essentially it's going to be a waste of time and it won't be productive. So I think if there's something I should talk about, or one of the things I should mention is in this upcoming year 2024, and not just in the upcoming year, but you can start today, is you want to focus on building a habit, developing that discipline, and creating essentially again that habit that, because once a habit is there, you don't even have to think about doing the thing you want to do. It's just habit. Like there's no question, there's no doubt. It's almost not impulsive, but it's something that needs to be done. It has to be done. Like if you don't do it, it feels like something feels off about it, and you feel guilty for not working. I think that's a solid gauge or gauge. Am I saying it right? Or metric for knowing if something is a legitimate built-in habit. I need to mention this guy too. His name is ApnaJ. He does a lot of skits on YouTube, and I was actually surprised by his recent video. It's a very short video, 1 minute, essentially a short video, and it was about the New Year's resolutions and how that's essentially a scam. And it's very surprising because it's not a comedic video. I mean, he's kind of funny in this video a bit, but it's more of a reminder, I guess, for his audience. And if you've seen his content, again, it's very funny. I do recommend you subscribe to this guy. He's cool, he's funny. But he mentioned how it is a scam. New Year's resolutions is a scam because people do tend to drop off. I mean, there's a lot of hype in, starting anew, and it's not bad to start anew, to change your life, set a different path for yourself, and all that nice stuff. But I think there's too much emphasis, there's too much glory, or it's too pedestalized, where every new year you're supposed to do this thing. And what happens is you put so much pressure on yourself on starting things right in the new year that eventually you just drop off. Usually I think it's in the last week of January, or maybe in the first week of February, where people tend to drop off. I think I'm thinking of the example of a gym. Like gym memberships tend to go up, in this case, during the first month of the year. And then eventually people just drop off because they can't maintain that kind of lifestyle. And you can replace this with it's not just about, working out, but any kind of habit you're trying to implement, or any kind of goal you're striving for. Eventually you will notice you do tend to drop off, and that's sad. And I think he emphasizes in this video, in this short video of his, that you want to focus more on discipline, because he breaks it, or he mentions this quote. So I'll try to do my best and quote him here, but he says, "If I can do something even when I don't want to, how can I fail?" And that's how he ends the video. I will link the video, by the way, in the description below. If I can do something even when I don't feel like it, even if I don't want to. How can I fail? And I love the way he ended that idea. Like, how can you fail if you have this type of mindset, this mentality, this approach, this default response? Because as much as we like, I'm going to assume if you're into this whole artistic kind of realm, creative realm, it's nice to think about. It's something that's a part of you, but once you're actually there, it doesn't always feel good. Sometimes you do struggle. Sometimes there's a lot of like doubt, insecurity there. Sometimes you're moving forward, but you're struggling with maybe you just can't get certain things right. Maybe your progress is too slow, or maybe you're not making progress at all, or maybe you feel lost and just like there's a lot of negative feelings involved here. But if you can just sit down and open up Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, and do the work, even if you don't want to, even if you don't feel like it, like how can you lose? How can you fail? And I think, for example, for me, just keeping up with this channel, making this change of just trying to upload something. It doesn't have to be perfect, but focusing more or emphasizing, prioritizing the habit first. Because once the habit is there of me just being able to just put content out, I can always change and adjust the content within that habit. Because I've already established the main thing or the main routine, and that's to be able to just, be a YouTuber, actually be online and not, have this perfectionist mindset where I like each video has to be this super well edited, super well like scripted out kind of video. It doesn't have to be that way. That's not my priority. My priority. My priority has to be the habit of creating videos on the fly directly, and then shortening that production process. Because once that whole thing is established, I can always add things to that, or change the content within that process. So the content can improve, but before I can improve the content, there needs to be a system involved in producing that content. And I think that really does happen only when you have a habit, when you have a routine that's established. So in a way, that's me practicing this discipline, even if I don't want to, even if I don't feel like it, even if I doubt the content I'm going to make, even if I don't feel like it's the perfect idea, the perfect type of video that will answer some kind of fundamental question. And like it doesn't have to be that deep. And I think in my last in my last videos a few months ago, where it was more, it was kind of in that realm where it was not very deep, but it was more like philosophical, intellectual. And I think the reason why I dropped off, or one of the reasons why I dropped off, is because it was too limiting, and I pressured myself too much to fit in that one category instead of just being able to say what I want to say, what I need to say, even if it's dumb, even if it's simple, even if it's not as complex, even if it's basic, even if it's random. I should be able to post it and share it, because again, the habit needs to be there, but also it helps the brand. I'm not just one thing. And if you're into, doing your own content, you can do other kinds of, or do different topics. It doesn't have to be one thing. And for example, it doesn't have to be like video content or and such. It could be your actual artwork. For example, Sakimichan, I think in the past few months or recently, she has been doing more comic, narrative, sequential types of artwork. So obviously, each pane or panel is not going to be as rendered as her usual highly rendered out top tier illustration anime-esque types of poster wallpaper level illustrations. And if you don't know Sakimichan, you have to know her, because she essentially like really put digital art in the map, or one of the big figures anyway. And she also made the life of a digital artist she made it real. So like living that lifestyle, making money off of it, especially with a membership site, say like Patreon. Like she's one of those OG. I have no idea. I have no idea what OG means, by the way. But those, that is one of those gods basically in the art realm. And I have noticed that she has been shifting more on sequential art, narrative art, and I actually do like it, even if it's not as even if it's different from her usual work. People change, and that's okay. You don't have to be stuck doing one thing, and that's also another takeaway that I can share with you, because I think it also helps with the discipline. Because if you give yourself some flexibility, I think discipline is going to be even much more achievable. So yes, do things that you should learn how to do things even if you don't want to, even if you don't feel like it. But that's an important aspect. But also, you need to learn how to do something that's not specific or that's not limited. Having that room to make mistakes, to adjust, to try different things. However, having that, there's some diversity or variety, I think it can help you push on further. It's kind of like making food, cooking food. If you keep cooking the same meals every day, it's going to get somewhat tiring. But if you once in a while spice things up, change the ingredients, change the meat, maybe change the way you cook the rice. Maybe today it's plain rice, maybe tomorrow it's garlic rice, the day after fried rice, and then the day after that biryani rice. It doesn't have to be that limiting. And I think having that flexibility can help you push on further. So that's pretty much it for this video. Maybe this should have been a podcast, but you know what? I could make this a podcast. I'll try to put something in the background if this is going to be on YouTube. Maybe some GIF files or GIF files. Maybe a sketch, who knows, or a time-lapse sketch, whatever. And then I'll post the actual audio version on the podcast, which you can check out, by the way. Links in the description. So again, check out this guy named ApnaJ. New Year's resolutions a scam. Follow him on his links, and he's a funny guy. And yeah, so that's it for this quick kind of morning pump up session. Ooh, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep drawing, keep painting, and I'll see you tomorrow or today, who knows. Bye.